Welcome to Missing the Magic, your husband and wife Disney duo. Michelle is the pixie dust optimist, cheering for warm churros and stunning fireworks. Joe is the grumpy realist, calling out lines and prices that miss the mark. We give credit where Disney makes magic and call them on it when they don't. From parks to cruises, films, and food, clear takes and sharp laughs await. Skip the fluff, keep the fun, and get tips for a smoother trip. Grab your ears, bring your backpack, and let's find the magic together.
Well, clearly we are home at this point.
If you couldn't tell, we're not on a ship. We're not in any water. We're home.
We are home in what hopefully will become the downstairs studio if I do this right, but we'll see. Days 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll do both of them at once.
Right.
Day 7, what was that?
That was Castaway Cay.
That was us floating around to do our day 6 summer.
Right. Exactly.
So how'd Castaway Cay go for you?
We were a little disappointed in the fact that they had said, we will make an announcement when it is all clear for the passengers to get off the ship. Because so many of the cast members that are on the ship have to help set up and get things ready with the cast members that actually are already on the island. They said it's going to take some time. We never heard an announcement saying that it was all clear for us to go. And as we're looking outside, we're seeing lots and lots of people. It seemed like more than just cast members were going. And that's when we realized, we can go too.
Right.
So that was a little disappointing
especially since you only have a limited amount of time. We only had about 5 hours total on the island, and probably an hour of it was wasted because we didn't know we could get off the ship because there was no announcement.
Right. But other people obviously were leaving at the same time. It wasn't like we were the last ones off. So there were people that probably wanted the rush to go and then they went or what.
And it still didn't go because there was a man out.
It was still a man.
Couldn't even take the elevators down.
Yeah, it took a while. We ended up just walking from floor 7 to...
Which is an indicator of how much better my back was doing by that point. And they week was I could do the stairs.
Right. That was a positive for sure. The other thing that was a little disappointing was they did have characters and photo ops on the island, but it was literally for the first half hour of the day because when we came back, there was no photographer in sight. So any photos that we got on Castaway Cay were our own personal ones, not the photo pass ones. So that was a little disappointing as well because when we got off the ship, there were long lines for everybody to get photos with characters or just the different landmarks on the islands.
Yeah. So you did your 5K.
Wink, wink. Yeah, I did my 5K.
You got your medal that wasn't metal.
Right. That was plastic, which was reminiscent of when Maddie did the Kids 1 Mile the one year during Star Wars.
So how rough was doing the 5K?
Oh, it was totally rough.
Worked out quite well, huh?
I did. I did. Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's an honor system, by the way. There are those who have none in the 5K world.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I walked between 5 and 7 miles each day on the ship. So
you earned your...
So I totally earned it before I even got to the island. So
I will... As many times as I had to walk back to the room, I'll agree with you.
You probably did a 5K and didn't even try.
Probably, yeah. Didn't want to either. So that's another thing.
So yes, it was based on the honor system. The other thing, it was going to be very hot. There was no shade around. Kudos to the people that did it because we definitely
lost a lot of...
We passed a lot of them and we were on the tram. I would have been miserable. I just know I would have been. So I kind of, for my own well-being, I walked a really long way to actually go to the bike rental place to get the medal and walk all the way back. Not that was a 5K right then and there, but between all of the other walking.
I walked to get my medal, right? That counts.
hey, I could have taken a tram to get to it.
That is true. Was it the second stop?
It was the second stop that I didn't even realize. So yeah, I, for my own well-being.
Oh, and just to comment on the photography aspect of things on the island, the photographers were set up almost as a delay zone, a speed bump, to get people to stand in line so that everyone wasn't bum rushing all the trains when they came out.
Right.
And then once all the people were moved over, that's when the photographers seemed to have wrapped up.
Right.
So I think there's some disingenuous intent there.
Right. Like, it would have been nice if there was a photographer at, like, Serenity Bay by the adults only section so that couples could.
It's not that kind of
Disney cruise, by the way. But, could get some pictures over there, or you'd have some family photos or something like that. So that could have been a little bit better.
Right. So then we went swimming for a little bit.
Right. So we met up with our friends, Tracy and Earl, who they were going snorkeling. We weren't doing that, but the area of the beach was separated into a swimming area and a snorkeling area. So we went to that area together. So they went snorkeling and we went into the water to swim around.
Mostly floating.
Fat
floats, and there's a lot of salt content in the water down there. So
maybe that's why I'm all swollen.
That's all the salt. And honestly, I did mostly walking. There's only a small area there where I couldn't touch.
Right. For me, though, I couldn't touch a good portion of them until I got further out
to where
and then I could touch.
The shag carpet was.
What's kind of
Betty seaweed was very weird.
Yeah. And then the little fish swimming around.
Yeah.
That was like, oh my gosh, dude, squish them.
So we got down there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we jumped on the tram.
Right.
To head over to Serenity.
Mm-hmm.
Where I found it to be, the dining area was painfully cramped and small.
Yeah. There was enough seating for us. It wasn't like it was
there was, but it was like we were at Coco's and people were elbow.
Right, everybody was on top of each other. Yeah.
They're doing construction there because they're putting additional cabanas in. So you had this very attractive, transparent green mesh wall of pallets.
Right.
Which looked very un-Disney-like. I had to say, it was, and I don't mean this in a derogatory term, but it was pretty ghetto looking. It literally looked like a ramshackle hut they were trying to build there, and it was.
And we've seen Disney do construction.
Lots of construction.
Where they hide it in a much more cohesive and cleaner way. But the fact that even on the beach they had construction,
they had a barge out in the water that was dredging up sand to fill in beach replenishment.
Right. So that was very un-Disney-like.
Right. Like
as well.
I'm sure there are days that they don't have cruise ships there that they could have stowed all that stuff when the cruise ships were there. So poor effort there. But I think the real complaint that I have is that was built originally for the older ships, which have a much smaller complement.
15 to 2,000.
You're putting 4,000 people on that island, and they just did not have the facilities to handle it.
Right. They should have upgraded the island before the cruise ship started coming, not after these larger ships have been coming.
Absolutely. So it was very, and the whole cruise was very cramped, very crowded. Even the beach is like, trying to get out into the water. I'm dodging kids. I'm dodging ditches. They're digging in the sand. I almost broke an ankle in one, parents. It was aggravating again on a beach that size to have to deal with that kind of crowd. So we keep harping on that.
Right.
So we finished up there, came back to the ship, showered, got changed for dinner.
Yep.
Went down and did Haunted Mansion trivia. How'd that go?
Yes, I did. That was fun. That was the first trivia game we played all cruise. There were a bunch of them that I had wanted to do. But again, what always ended up happening was there was the overlap of different events where if you were in one, you wouldn't be able to make it to another because it would overlap by 15 minutes. So this was the first one that we did, and we had a lot of fun. It was funny because pretty much everybody that was in the room was a Haunted Mansion geek.
Die hard.
And when certain questions came up, we wanted to be a little bit more specific. So do you mean this or do you mean that? And
Like they would ask questions
everybody
about the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, and people wanted to clarify what time of year because it changes.
because the Haunted Mansion changes for Holiday Haunted Mansion.
Right.
So it was kind of funny to see us all geeking out.
And the host did a very good job of dodging all.
He was kind of funny.
Very good
He'd be
at
like,
that.
next question. He didn't even want to harp on it or whatever. He was making fun of us after. I think it was like question 2 was the one where we wanted more clarification. He's like, we're only on the second question, people. We have 20 to go. We don't have all day. Yeah.
Rule
So
lawyers,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So that was fun.
So we finished there, and I scored 100%, 20 for 20 with mine without cheating.
You sure?
I didn't cheat.
Much?
I took hints, but I didn't cheat. The hard ones I got.
Okay.
Okay. I even got the ball freeze one.
Right.
All right. I do that.
Well, I obviously got 100 out of 100. Or
We didn't win, unfortunately, because
There was
the
a-
tiebreakers. There was 5 of us. There was a sudden death round. And the final question was for the movie that literally no Haunted Mansion fan has any respect for or like.
I do.
You got it wrong.
And I got it wrong.
You got it more wrong than I got it wrong.
I know. And
So-
I kicked myself because I remember the year before it came out. I remember the year it came out, and it just
So when I say she got it more wrong, there are degrees of wrong for the way the question was asked.
it was
it
just
was-
what year the movie came out.
What year did the movie come out? Whoever gets closest wins.
Right.
And you guessed
Where did I guess? 2005.
yes, and I
You
guessed
did
2004.
and it's 2003.
So I was more right than you.
Whatever.
Unfortunately, neither of us were actually right, and 2 other
Because there were 2 people that had it right, so they got the medals.
we didn't win the prize.
So
They're
bad.
the non-medal medals.
Right, but that's okay because we knew that we got 100%. And
Right.
that was
I can
all-
come home and respectfully look our daughter in the face and tell her I scored 100%.
Right.
So what we do after that?
Then we went downstairs to get ready for dinner. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, we were gonna go to dinner, and as we were walking by,
The Doblonas were playing again.
they were playing.
They're a rock band. They're a cover band. Well, they're a lot more than a cover band.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had
They were doing original stuff,
that, which is really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But they were doing a cover set.
And we had been meaning to see them over and over, but again, it was one of those. They were doing something the same time something
Yep.
else was going on,
Always
or whatever. So we, so
So
we
we
finally
finally got a chance to sit down
Mm-hmm.
and listen for a bit. I couldn't get a beer there because apparently they were out of beer and they couldn't find any more on the ship anywhere, which Disney's already gotten a letter about, by the way.
Yeah. So you got your soda just to have.
So I got a soda because I needed to drink some because I was dehydrated from being on the
Right.
island.
Right.
Then we're getting up to leave, and they finished the one song. We're 5 minutes till dinner. We get up to leave. He says, "Oh, I'm going to do a Journey song now." I'm like, "No, I got to go to dinner. Why can't you,
He's like, just give me 4 minutes.
And he convinced us to stay, and it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
So I said, I told him, I said, we'll be back for your 10 o'clock set. So we went to dinner, last dinner.
It was our last dinner at Coco's.
Yep. Which, by the way, I'm not a fan of Coco's. The rotational menus, you can rotate crap onto my plate all you want. It's still crap. Don't force me to eat at restaurants that I don't like, Disney. I can't stand that.
Well, and the one thing is that they always, no matter what the restaurant is, they will have a baked chicken, they
fried
will
chicken.
have a steak, and they will have a salmon.
Don't ever try to order steak rare. Their idea of rare is at generously medium rare.
Yeah.
I ordered rare every night, and I never got rare when I was there. So
you don't normally eat rare.
no, but I knew they weren't going to give it to me rare.
So, yeah, it was always better to
It was
go.
cooked exactly the way I like it. I like
Right.
it medium rare.
Right. So exactly. So yeah. So if you're not feeling adventurous, there's usually safe options, just like with the kids menus. There's always
And it's
something.
Disney. They'll make anything you want, basically.
Ah.
They're top notch on eating restrictions, on allergies, on all that stuff. And if you don't like what's on the menu, the problem is I didn't want to keep eating the same thing. I wanted to be a little more experimental.
Right.
And the stuff that they were putting there was all stuff that I couldn't eat because it was all spicy. And when I say spicy, Disney food's not spicy. It's not real Mexican food.
Right.
It's spicy for me because I have a peptic ulcer.
Right.
So didn't really like it. That's another aside.
Right.
How the rest of the night go at dinner?
It was fine. It was kind of bittersweet because we knew this was our last dinner. Fortunately, we did have breakfast the final day, so we did get to see our guys one more time. But it's a little bittersweet when it's your last night because you know it's over. Well, your week has finally come to an end.
Right. We absolutely adopted Mario into the family.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Joel was a little reserved. He didn't
Right.
really
I think
get a lot of interaction with
and
Joel.
that was probably why he was the assistant servant because he
was great.
Yeah. Anytime you ask for
something. So my thing is when I go to a restaurant, if I have to ask for you to refill my drink, you're not doing your job. And I never had to ask once. They brought them out right off the bat. They knew what I drank. My glass never got more than 3/4 of the way down before it was getting refilled.
And what was also funny is whatever you ordered the first night, they assumed
you wanted it.
You didn't want it. You would want it every night. So God forbid you wanted a Diet Coke and then a Sprite and then a ginger ale or something.
We had some people at the table that were changing every night. These guys were scrambling to keep up.
They kind of felt bad because here they thought, oh, they're always going to want this. And, and they didn't. So we were keeping them on their toes. The other kudos goes to our little family that was next to us. It just so happened that their oldest son was celebrating his birthday. And so we all sang happy birthday to it. So that was sweet that we did that.
Unfortunately, we neglected the trade contact information. Right. It would have been nice to keep up.
Because we do know that they live in the Philly-ish area. They recently moved here. So that would have been nice to
the sweetest thing ever was after that family was done, they had left the table. And my little buddy Duncan insisted, dragging his mom hand in hand back into the restaurant to come back so he could give me a hug. And that was the most touching thing of the entire cruise.
Yeah.
It nearly brought me to tears that he actually felt that much to come in. So love that little boy. He's so smart. He's so sharp. All the kids were so polite. It's so well behaved. Kudos to the parents for that. They helped really make it a special cruise.
Yeah. So after dinner, we kind of meandered to the lobby where, again, the clash of people getting ready for the 8:00 dinner, people clashing for the 8:00 show.
Which apparently this was one of the most popular shows. It was Beauty and the Beast. We were sitting again at the Skippers Club, which is sort of in the middle of the building on the one side of the Grand Hall.
Yeah.
And people started lining up at 4:00 for a 6:00 show.
Right.
Which is insane. There is no show. If you gave me tickets to the original Hamilton, I wouldn't have stood in line that long to get in. I'm sorry. I just don't wait that long for anything.
Right.
So that made it overly crowded once again.
Right, when we came downstairs for dinner.
And then you're trying to get pictures because they've got backdrops out and the lines at times were too long. That one line that was over by the play area there, that's always long.
Yeah. Yeah, so we didn't get any photos last night because it was just too crowded.
Which is why Veronica came looking for me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Veronica was the best photographer out there. She was creative. She was polite. She was funny. She made you feel special, and she was just taking your picture.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And then once again, we wound up back in the Haunted
Mansion parlor. Surprise.
I'm pretty sure I got a name on a stool in there. I spent so much time in there.
You know what? It's funny though, but I I don't think they actually knew our names because.
Oh, no, because they were calling me Mr. Joseph.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I never, because,
Yeah.
Evil Frank, he had a thing, like they recognize us, but they never actually.
Well, because they kept charging my band. So
right. So that was probably why if they were using my band, then they wouldn't
Right.
remember. And that's okay.
So we got a picture with the bartenders. We gave them a little cash because we really appreciated all of
with
the
some little gifts.
Some of the we gave them a gift bag of the stuff that we printed out.
Right.
And then they bestowed a grand honor upon you. Tell us what that was.
So they brought out this beautiful bound scrapbook, really, that they only bring out on the last night. And they want their most honored guests, dearly departed guests, to leave a memory about their time with them. So some people just write short little blurbs. Some people take the whole page. Some people do drawings.
Some people write a whole full page ad like you did.
There were other people that wrote full page ads. So, and mine was,
it was all better. And it's clever though. And you got to comment on it.
Right.
So people appreciate it.
Yeah. So that was very sweet. To
the whole experience, the last 3-4 nights in there, sitting at the bar.
Right.
So if you go, you have to sit at least at each part of the area because you have to enjoy the show. The show's different in every seat of the building.
Right.
Once you've done that, sit at the bar. The bar is where everything happens. At least it was.
Right, because we don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was Himmy's last night. If it was the life of the party.
Right.
You have your tambourines, you have your bells that you can play with. It was like we were having conversations with people every night that we had never talked to, and we were getting along like we were long lost friends. It was just that kind of atmosphere there. It was, someone described it as like being at Cheers.
Yeah.
And it really was, especially when Evil Frank walked in.
Right.
He was like Norm. Evil Frank was Norm. It was their version of Norm, basically.
Right.
I am. So totally love those guys.
Yeah.
So after that, we kind of ended the night, right?
Right.
We had already done some packing beforehand.
Right. We had already put out our luggage.
So we had to have the luggage out by
10
or something like that.
So while we were still sitting in the mansion, I left to go and put the luggage out because it was already packed. I went to go put it outside so that we didn't forget. And the porters, were already coming and taking.
Yeah, they were gobbling that stuff up as fast as people were putting it out.
Right. And that was when I started taking off all the magnets and everything, undecorating our door.
Right.
And the majority of the stuff, because you had 3D printed it and we could print out more, I brought back down with me to the Haunted Mansion parlor and kind of said, hey, whoever wants, take.
And I think Philip was really touched by that. He was, not to pat myself on the back, but he was impressed with the quality of it. But he was really touched that we thought that much of that we would give him that stuff and let him.
Yeah.
He pulled one piece out. He says, I'm going to hang this in my room.
So we just kind of left it there. So who knows what, if everybody took or it ended up in the trash, who knows? But that was, kind of a nice little gesture before we left.
So that was the last night.
Mm-hmm.
The next day started painfully early.
At 6:15 in the morning because we had to have breakfast by 7.
Right.
So we went back, sort of early.
Well, we had to start breakfast by 7.
Right. Technically. Then
7, breakfast started at 7.
Right. So we got the last minute things packed up that, the last night so that in the morning we could basically clear out of there as soon as we could.
Right.
Very rocky the last night. Again,
yeah.
It took a while for me to fall asleep. I kept feeling like I was going to be pushed out of bed. Then we finally got up, we got dressed, we got ready. We went to breakfast. Earl and Tracy were already there. Our others, they weren't. So they must have done the early checkout because if you wanted to do express checkout, basically take your own bags and do it yourself, as soon as the all clear is done, they go.
Right.
Anybody who needs luggage assistance.
And we were a little
you
late
have to
actually
wait.
coming in a port, somebody said, too.
Oh, okay. So that could have been it,
It's
too.
a little time clearance.
Okay, so we went and we ate and we took our time and we got to see Mario and we got to see Joel and chit chat with them
Right.
for a bit.
And my little buddy, that was where my little buddy
Oh,
showed up, and that was when you went to the bathroom.
right. So I missed the whole goodbye hug thing
Right.
because I actually saw them leaving when I was coming back into the restaurant and realizing that we were literally the last table.
Which we were pretty much the last
That we
table
were
every
always.
night we dined, too.
Yeah,
So
but the problem was that there were people waiting for the 8 o'clock.
So we were the early dining, they were the late dining, but for dinner, there's about a 2-hour window.
Right, for breakfast.
For breakfast, they were literally coming in once we were done.
Right, so they needed us to get the hell out of there, which worked out. So we got out of there, and we were already checked out of the room. We didn't have to go back. It was just a matter of going and
getting off the ship, which was sad, especially when you transition to a certain point over the threshold and you stop smelling the scent of the ship.
Yeah.
Which is a copyrighted Disney scent, by the way.
Yeah.
And you're back to regular dry land, and you feel it with the swang, but everyone feels it because that signals the end of vacation.
Yeah.
So we went down. We had to get our luggage. They broke our damn luggage. Missing a wheel and one of our heels.
Yeah. So
we're fighting that fight.
Yeah. So I did submit an email regarding it. So we'll see what happens with that.
So then we met up with your friend.
Mm-hmm. My friend Deanne, who we had gotten together with the week before when we had gotten down there. We had kindly asked her to pick us up so that we didn't have to worry about this whole rental car thing or hiring somebody. And she was like, absolutely. She was there. She actually got there a little early and ended up having to drive around a couple times because there wasn't really a place to stop.
Right.
But we found her
they're
easily.
They're military precision out there, keeping things moving. So kudos to them for that.
Yeah. So she got there. We loaded the car.
We even had the extra bonus of driving past the protest.
Oh yeah, that was fun. So by the time we got into Orlando, because we were taking the train from downtown Orlando, we're going, and there's the No Kings protest going on. There was also a Pride. I think it was like No Kings and Pride was going on in Orlando. So that was nice to see. Hong Kong, good on them.
We got to that armpit of a train station in Orlando, which it literally looks like it's been forgotten.
Well, and what's so funny is I think it was 1990 or 1992, they actually did a whole renovation of the thing. So it had been more dilapidated.
To bring it up to a 1960 standard, it seems.
Yeah, I guess they haven't really done. But there's not that many trains that come through there. So
tiny, insignificant little station it was beautiful.
Yeah, so we got there. I don't know. What time did we get there? Because we got off the ship. It was 8:30.
We got there.
Probably like 9:30. Our train wasn't until 1:39. Did one train come while we were there? Yes. One came from the time we were there, and until we got on, only one other train came through. So it's not a high traffic.
Right, it's not a great central station.
Right. Even like local traffic, it doesn't get a lot of usage.
And it's because Amtrak is this cesspool.
Well, I wasn't even saying Amtrak, figuring whatever their local trains are.
And that's the thing. So light rail's popular in the area. So all the light rail runs on new railways, new stations.
Right. So there's not much going on the old.
Yeah, their local stuff. Yeah, their local stuff's all new.
But it gave us because when we got there, we needed to kind of rearrange some of the luggage around. Deanne was very gracious and offered to ship stuff back for us because we had no idea how we were going to get the stuff.
We lost so much shit. There was no way we were going to be able to get it all.
I want to sidebar. He's the one who, from watching all the other YouTube videos about the treasure and all the merchandise that they were going to have, he kept saying, "You're going to want this. You're going to want to get that. Because this is the only place you can get it. You can't get it any place else unless you're buying it on eBay." So
Don't shoot the messenger.
I only
Well,
want it because you said it.
I did not twist your
Yeah, you
arm.
just-
I didn't make
No,
you
no.
buy anything.
I have no idea where I'm putting any of it either. But I have a few days until it gets here. So yeah, so that was another plus that Deanne was helping with, was shipping the stuff back, which I don't understand why Disney doesn't do that. I understand they can't do it while they're on the ship, but you could at least set up something at the port once you clear customs to have your stuff,
Right.
shipped back. That would make so much more sense. But whatever.
So our train finally arrives.
Mhm. On time.
They put instructions up to get on at platform 17. And
No,
that
platform L.
L.
Letters.
Right. I don't
know, 17. Yeah. Yeah. So we go all the way down to where it's supposed to.
And they're like, "Oh no, this is just for the sleepers."
Well, you got to go back this way.
And then we got stuck behind the Stepford wives.
Oh, no, well, they were.
They were. It almost looked like they were going to like an 18th century style Ren fair. That's what they looked like.
I think they were Mormons.
They might have been. I don't know. How do Mormons dress? They're not like Amish, are they? Do they have a distinctive dress?
Some of them do. Like if you see like sister wives and like the more religious Mormons, yeah, they kind of dress.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it was with matching
But
hats.
I loved how they categorized the protest as
there was a riot going downtown.
Oh,
yeah, because I guess they had stayed in downtown.
Why? Because you don't have a bunch of compliant women that do everything that the men say. That's a riot, apparently.
Yeah. So
anyway,
we didn't see them again.
We didn't have to deal with it now.
Yeah, because that was the other thing too, is that getting on the train, because so when we came down, we were in one of the sleeper cars, so we had an assigned car before we even got on the train. It seems when you're coach, they assign you your seat as you're getting on. And again, I don't know if this is how they do it other places, but when we were getting on, she was asking us where our final stop was, and that determined which car we were going to. I guess to try and keep everybody.
Well, and that they were predetermined, but that was so she knew which list to look at.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So we got our seats and we got on the train.
And prepped for that painfully long ride home to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have another article about a particular experience we had on the way down that's going to seem very flattering and complimentary to Amtrak, but I have to take a moment to complain. Those cabins, those cars are disgusting. And I think we even were in a newer model because it had the pleather seats.
Right.
They're filthy. They're poorly maintained. They're rickety. They're uncomfortable. They're bumpy. The staff on our way home was the rudest, most miserable. Like, you could be pleasant to them as the day. And I was to the woman in the lounge car. How you doing? Having a nice day? And she copped an attitude. Like, if you hate your job that much, good God, go find another job. Don't make other people put up with that miserable attitude. Because you don't need to be miserable to work at Amtrak. And our buddy Preston will explain that one to you in a later episode. Preston is a tribute to what Amtrak can produce. And these miserable sons of bitches that we had to deal with on the train, they don't even look at you. You know, not a hello, good morning, nothing like that. And it's just like, why? What do you get from treating people like that? You're in the service industry, for God's sakes. Act like it.
Yeah. I don't know.
So between the shoddy state that the front seat in the car in front of us, literally a pile of trash.
Yeah, and nobody
came to clean it up. Like, really, guys? You take no pride at all your jobs.
Right.
It's just laziness and complacency is what it is. And that's why rail in this country Between that, the lack of investment, and the focus on freight on the rails is why consumer rail travel has dropped off to almost nothing in this country. It could be a beautiful, wonderful, enjoyable experience, and they're deliberately turning it to shit. So, I do, yeah. So we got back to Philly, and then they're not going to watch this.
I wouldn't even bring.
So then we had some issues with the driver that I won't go into.
We'll just leave it at that.
And we got home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
All right.
We'll leave that.
Fine.
Yeah.
What's the name of the driver? What's the name of the company?
I don't even remember.
Affordable
Car service.
Affordable car service. Don't use them. Just a warning. Don't use them. We've since lost their number now. Is it fair enough?
I guess that's going to be a little bit, sir. Yeah. So it was nice to come home. We missed being home. We missed our daughter.
Yep.
I think she missed us.
She seemed like it.
She seemed like
She's a very good actor.
Right. So it was nice to unpack and, just
get all my camera equipment back and realize none of it was broke.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, so it was good. It was we did hear from Tracy. She texted to find out if we had gotten home.
Stablemate.
If we had gotten home okay.
Love those guys.
Yeah, they were still staying for a couple of days. Yeah.
So we're already making plans to try to get together with them.
Yeah. So
when they stop going on vacation.
Right, because they're always on vacation. Or we just have to start going on more vacations too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think out of everything, like, yes, there were hiccups, days that didn't go right, but I think overall the positives outweighed.
For me, the highlights of the cruise had almost nothing to do with the cruise or Disney. It was the people we met, the personalities we met.
Right.
I'll give Disney total props for putting people like Hibby, Philip, Veronica, Tim, who I didn't mention in my email. Tim was my waiter at the Scat Cat. Mario, Joel, total credit for recognizing talent in these guys and giving them and gals the recognition that they deserve, and they deserve all the accolades that we could keep upon them.
Yeah.
Some of the things that weren't great from that perspective, our room attendant was adequate, but didn't knock my socks off. The room attendant for the rooms next door, far more vibrant, far more outgoing, and far more pleasant experience. So there's that.
Right. And there were definitely people who had very positive experiences with their wait staff, with their room attendants. And then there were people that didn't have very good experiences at all. So it was kind of a hodgepodge, I think, between everybody.
The fact that we put our $250 down for a reservation for another cruise, I think, is testament to the fact that we enjoyed ourselves.
Absolutely.
So that is it. That's the last day. We're going to cut all these up. We're going to put a couple of episodes together, and we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
And we'll see where we go.
Yeah. Probably a smaller ship.
Probably a smaller ship. Not a
Wishblack.
A Trident class. Well, they're called Trident class.
And somebody was falling in the Wishblack.
Then technically, in naval parlance, you name the class after the first vessel.
Right. So that's the Wish.
It was, but Disney already had designated that class.
That's right. Got it. So it's Serenity.
Right.
Got it.
Anyway, technicalities.
It's okay.
Technically, it was a ship number that it was designated.
Right. Because I did the one tour and they talked about that.
Do the tour multiple times, by the way. It's different for everyone you get to do the tour with.
Yeah, and I only did it once. I should have done it more times. But again, that was one of those overlapping things.
Yep.
Where if you're going to overlap it, make sure you overlap with something that is going to be repeated so you don't feel like you have to decide between who your favorite child is.
We'll address that more on our big session.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I had no favorite child. I don't even like my kids. Do you know? I love them.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's it for this trip. That's it for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you think.
Okay.
That's a wrap on this episode of Missing the Magic.
If you enjoyed the mix of cheers and critiques, follow the show. Leave a quick rating and share it with a fellow fan. Have a question, hot take, or park hack we should try? Send it our way at comments@insightsintothings.com. Or call it and leave us a voicemail at 856-403-8788. Thanks for listening, and thanks to Disney for the memories worth talking about. Keep your ears handy, bring your backpack, and we'll meet you back here for more Missing the Magic.